Entrepreneurship is gonna be tough. I'm gonna just tell y'all that straight up. No fluff about it. Like, think about, for my people that's in college or whatever. What's the hardest thing? I want everybody to put this in their mind. What's the hardest thing that you ever had to do in your life? All right, think about that for a quick second. And then I want you to understand that entrepreneurship is probably going to be 10 times as harder than that. Understand that. Be prepared to go through these, moments where you have to fight and claw and learn and build and restart and build again and restart and build again to like get to where you really want to be in entrepreneurship. It's continuous growth. It's definitely a marathon. It is not a sprint. Welcome back to the channel, y'all. I'm Marlon Watts, co-owner and CEO of WRLDINVSN.
Hey, I'm Nicholas Clark, co-owner and designer of WRLDINVSN. Hey,
what you got for me today, Nick?
In this video, what we want to do is we read this book. It's called The Four Agreements.
Yep.
It's one of my favorite books. I don't know about Marlon. One of my favorite books out. It's so deep in it, and it can relate to so many things. So what we want to do is take this book. It's more of a mindset, spiritual book.
But we want to relate it to like running your brand.
Yes.
And how you can apply this book to your brand and your life. To grow and see success.
Yeah, and you could apply this to any and everything. But specifically for this, we want to relate it to running your brand. All right, growing your brand, starting your brand, running your brand. All right, so
before they get started though, we need them to like, subscribe to the channel, run us up. Can't forget that we on our way to 1 million. All right,
hey, run us up. All right, run us up. Like this video, watch this video all the way to the end. We're gonna get through these 4 agreements. So starting with agreement number 1, all right, is be impeccable with your word. And inside this book, what it talk about is your word is everything. Your word have powers. Because I know it gave a Bible scripture. It was like at the beginning, it was God and his word.
Yep.
And what that's ultimately telling you, and when they say let there be light, what that's ultimately telling you is your words have power.
Yep.
So anything that you say, you can't take it for granted. You got to really mean it. You can't cast spells on yourself. All right. Yep. So if you gossiping, if you talking about other people, like you using your powerful words for nothing, like it's literally a waste of energy, it's a waste of breath. So, a lot of times, you may have, a clothing brand and you always say, I can't. And, another thing we learned is, instead of saying you can't, ask yourself, how can you? And what that does is, like, once again, your words have power. What that does is that open up opportunity, that open up avenues for you to be able to have instead of have not. So I want you to be able to I want you to take that first agreement, be impeccable with your word, and I want you to use that as you knowing that that's your superpowers. Like if you want you to wake up every day and tell yourself you're going to have $1 million brand.
Yep.
You're going to have $1 million brand. It starts with your word, then it goes with your actions. But if you don't believe it yourself, how can you actually get to where you want to be, or how other people going to believe in it for you, right? So I would say those are my takeaways.
Yeah, and I like it's like, doing what you say. In the sense of like a lot of us, we say that we're going to go do that pop-up shop. We say that we're going to, go out and, build a team. We say that we're going to go get that kiosk. We say that we're going to join that program. We say a lot of these things that we're going to do, and then when the time actually comes, we actually don't do it. And that's what we mean by being impeccable with your word. It's like, honoring what it is that you saying that you're going to do. If you said that you're going to go and you're going to start waking up at 6, wake up at 6. The more that you don't wake up at 6, it's just you not keeping, holding yourself to your word. And then when it's time to go do that pop-up shop, it's like subconsciously, because you didn't wake up at 6, you're not going to go to the pop-up shop stuff. It's like you actually building that routine, that habit for yourself and for your personal system, because we always talk about it like your business is based on the entrepreneur, because right now most of the people that may be watching this is maybe the only one inside their business. So like they're doing pretty much everything, whether that's customer service, fulfillment, design making, or they the main one working with somebody else to get it done. So you have to realize that you need to be impeccable with your, not only just your word, but your schedule, so that way you able to accomplish the things that you really want to accomplish.
The second agreement is going to be, don't take things personal. All right. So, all right, if I walk up to you and I say, man, your brand is shitty, don't take it personal. Because what I'm going to do after that is tell you exactly what you need to do to put your brand on the right path. I'm not going to be the friend that's going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. So, like, if you make a design, you send it to all your friends and your family, they're going to tell you, like, yeah, I like that. But with me, I'm going to give you real honest feedback, because I want to see you grow. I want to see you go further than World Envision. And what I want you to not do is, if somebody don't like you or like something that you're doing, like, that's all on them, you know, and that's them being in their world. Even if you don't like the advice that I give you, you don't have to take it personal, or you don't have to take it in a way where it's like, damn, they hating on me, or damn, they don't want to see me win. When in reality, like, everybody is living in their own world. So they get to feel how they want, they get to do what they want, they get to say what they want, because that's them living in their own world. But you ain't got to let their world affect yours, right? So even if I came and I said I ain't like something about your brand, you know, if I didn't even give you advice, that still shouldn't affect you and stop you from doing what you're doing. So that you should just take that and you should just grow from that. Or at least, you know, I wouldn't be the person that just come and just say, I don't like this, and not give you feedback. I'm going to give you real feedback. That not just say I don't like it because the way that it look, but it may be something that you could add to your systems or add to your processes to help you make more money, you know, ultimately.
So
I don't know if I said that all the way right.
By that being said, he ain't gonna hate on y'all.
Yeah, I ain't gonna.
But
I hope I said that right.
But I take it from the online perspective. Don't take things personally. It's like a lot of people may be creating content or struggling to create content because of something where they feel like they don't want somebody to say something. They don't like their voice. Or they there's a whole lot of things on, you know, where, you know, you can't take yourself personally. In a sense of like, you got to put yourself out there because you never know what can happen. And then, and the vice versa of other people, like, even if somebody, you know, say something about you, it really don't matter. Like, that shouldn't stop you from creating that content. That shouldn't stop you from putting out your brand. You know, going out there, doing those pop-up shops, you know, and going, like, present yourself in person shouldn't stop you, because, like, at the end of the day, it's millions of companies out here. And, you know, like, everybody, I don't eat vegan food. So, like, you know, the vegan companies can't be like, oh, I got to take this personally because they don't eat vegan food.
They still making billions of dollars, even though you like, ooh, that's nasty.
Right. So I just want I want you to get that literally out your mind. Like, everything we talking about right now is a literal mindset thing, because a lot of times what's stopping us from growing our brands is the mindset and the way that we look at things. So if we can help you inside this video change the perspective that you have and the way that you look at different situations, you're going to be able to change inside of your business. Because I think in one of those last videos we even talked about, like, how our name was World Envision. But we could have took it personal that everybody was saying World Envision. Like, oh, man, that's not the name of the brand. But we was open enough to not take it personally and realize, like, dang, we got to take the feedback from everybody that they giving us. And actually, World Envision actually sounds better. So let's roll with that. But it would have been us being stuck in our ways and taking it personal about everybody saying the brand name wrong and telling us about, you know, what we should do, and not doing it. It, like, that prohibits your growth.
Facts. Yeah, I like that. Hey, y'all don't understand how many negative comments we get all day, every day. You know, when you get a lot of followers, you're going to have so much anonymous hate. It's going to be ridiculous. And if you read those comments and you take it personal, like, it's going to be tough. For you, all right? It's going to be very, very, bro, it's like, even in sports, like, not college athletes, NFL players, NBA players, or whatever, they take all the heat straight from social media, you know. But if they was to take it personally, then they can't go out there and perform on their best. Or you won't even see them in the league anymore. Like, you know what I mean? If LeBron wouldn't be able to be LeBron if he had all the negative hate that he experienced on the internet. It don't even be about basketball. It might be about his health. You know, it may be the most, you know. I seen one video he had on, like, some shorts. You seen that? And it was like, who he think he is, Andrew Reese? But if you took that stuff personal, you wouldn't be able to grow your brand to a huge level and continuously grow your brand. All right. The third agreement. All right. Don't make assumptions. All right. And assumptions can really have you thinking a whole way that you shouldn't even be thinking. Like, unless somebody tell you directly, never assume anything, in a positive way and in a negative way. So it's like, even if somebody may say the wrong thing, don't assume that they meant it, you know, the wrong way. Or let's just say if you working, you know, inside your business and you have a team, you know, don't assume just because you told them to get something done that they had it done. You might got to check in with them to see if they got it done. Vice versa, even with your print shops and your manufacturers.
I like what you just said with the print shops, because it's a lot of times where, we assume the print shop actually know what we want. Just because we until where we had to be very particular. Like
you helped me think of a story. No,
it was where like we had red. We'll put red, and to us, we want you to match this red. But to them, they assuming that they matching the red that we assuming that they know. And instead of us being very clear what we want this actual PMS color right here. Now is no assumption involved with it at all. It's like, all right, this is exactly what they want. Yep. And that's how you're able to run your business more smoothly.
We even get pictures whenever they print it to make sure that it's the right print. It's crazy that you say that because remember we went to the print shop Purple Monkey in New Orleans and we had got that cheetah print.
Oh,
and we didn't tell them how big we wanted it. We just assumed that, us having it big on the mock-up, like it was supposed to be printed the biggest. But we didn't know that when they sent us the invoice, they put 7 inches printed. And 7 inches is small. Like we literally got all the shirts and it was like, why they printing so small? And like we tried to call them to get a refund and get new shirts, but they like, bro, it's screen print. Like we already printed on the shirts.
Yep.
How can you print bigger when they already on there? And believe it or not, like, if we had to go back in that situation and we had a wrong print, I probably would have still sold them. Because, like, it would have just been a small print. Like, we assumed that, like, we thought the audience and the customers, there's another assumption. We assumed that the audience and the customers was going to be like, oh, that's a small print. So we ain't sell none of the shirts. We basically just put them in a trash bag and never sold them.
Yep.
And it's like we lost all of our money. We took a loss for nothing because we assumed that they was going to not like it because of it not being a big print. That don't make sense. That's really crazy. All right, and the last but not least, the fourth agreement is always do your best. All right, so everybody that's watching this video, like, only thing that you could do is do your best. Like, if you put it all on the line, if you went out there, played that basketball game, how Marlon played that basketball game yesterday, he gave it his all, shots just wasn't falling. Hey, all you could do is walk off the court and say that you did your best, all right? So even in your brand, if you waking up every single day and you actually spending a few hours, spending 3 hours, spending 4 hours, 1 hour, 30 minutes, that's all you got to give, you giving it, hey, that's all that matters. Like, you watching this video all the way to the end so you could get all the information that you can. You may not be able to invest in your brand right now. You may not be able to buy a course, but you're able to come on here and watch these videos. You giving it your best, even with what you got. So I would say always do your best. That's probably the easiest one out of all of the 4 agreements, but at the same time, that could be hard too, because a lot of times when we ask people, hey, do you think that you gave it your all, they may be like, I gave it 80%. But what I want you to do, that's watching this video, you got to give it 110 every single time. And as long as you go out there, lay it on the line, like, that's you giving it your best.
That's big. And I don't have much to say to that. Nick definitely killed it though. Just main thing I want y'all to understand is just like your brand is only going to go as far as you allow it to go. Entrepreneurship is going to be tough. I'm going to just tell y'all that straight up. No fluff about it. Like, think about for my people that's in college or whatever. What's the hardest thing? I want everybody to put this in their mind. What's the hardest thing that you ever had to do in your life? All right, think about that for a quick second. And then I want you to understand that entrepreneurship is probably going to be 10 times as harder than that. Understand that. Be prepared to go through these, moments where you have to fight and claw and learn and build and restart and build again and restart and build again to like get to where you really want to be in entrepreneurship. It's continuous growth. It's definitely a marathon. It is not a sprint. Like, we have been doing this for 15 years now, and the game continues to change. You have to continue to evolve. You got to continue to stay on top of stuff. Like, you have to continue to develop as an entrepreneur. Your business has to continue to develop. So, like, we just really want y'all to understand. Right now, we just share one book with you, but we want to challenge you to go out and continue to equip yourself with information and knowledge and books. We recommend doing audiobooks so that way you able to like listen to books. Like we able to like listen to books faster than we can actually sit there and read the book. Mm-hmm. So we're able to load up on more books. So we just want to make sure that you understand, and like we only able to get here, speak the way we speak, have the information that we have because we are out here acquiring information and other knowledge, and literally is inside of these books, millions of videos, inside of these videos, that you can go and get. All right, so if you want to continue to get closer to the community, check the link inside of the description. ActivateYourVision.com. Go ahead on and apply to get access to that. Make sure you like, subscribe, run us up.
I'm Nicholas Clark, corner and designer of World and Vision.
I'm Marlon. I'm co-owner and CEO of World and Vision. And guess what, baby?
We out.